job at them. Coming from a construction background, I think that's what really has made us successful, is that we know how the buildings need to go together on the site, and we're just peeling the layers back on, okay, how can we prefabricate it, right? I think that's one of the different things between us and our success compared to some other modular companies. There's been quite a few black eyes in the industry lately, where we are builders to start, and now we're just kind of pulling that backwards and figuring out a way to prefabricate it and build it off-site, knowing all the while how it needs to happen on the site. That's the execution part of it. It's very important, right? So that's what I see about a lot of other companies in the modular space who haven't been successful. It's their execution, right? You kind of need to know what that end product needs to be and work backwards into the prefab. You can't just prefabricate something and then ship it to a site and hopefully it goes well. That doesn't go well, right? So I think that's the big thing. So the Canadian Helen Keller Centre is the biggest one we've done to date. I think it's likely one of the largest volumetric modular projects in Ontario, probably in the top 4 or 5 in Canada, that we are actually still doing, but we installed a couple of months ago. So that one there, it was 157 modules. We erected all of them in 13 business days. So 6 stories, 13 business days. Then we had to run around the top with parapets and some other pieces just to tie it all together. But our craning in the still frame shot that you have is over a 22 working day period. So generally speaking, we went from the ground up to having a watertight roof in less than a month.
That's fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
So that project, and I've got these stats from the Canadian Helen Keller Centre, where that project, Rapid Housing Initiative from CMHC, would take every person with a visual impairment off the Toronto Housing Affordable Wait List. The Toronto Affordable Housing Wait List would take every person off of that list and put them into a safe home.
That's amazing.
And so we're taking that construction timeline, which would typically be probably a 2-year or 24-month timeline, compressing it in half to a 12-month timeline. So because we're able to prefabricate it, we're able to accelerate the time on site. So we had the building almost completely fabricated before the building permit was issued. So once the building permit gets issued, we do our underground, we do our foundations, we put in some services, we come in with a big old crane and stack it together really, really fast, right? So now what we're doing on site is all the stitching and seaming and all the stuff that we can't do on site, the common spaces, the commercial spaces, those kind of things that are just part of the design of the building, where it's now done conventionally. But all of the units, they showed up with, all the kitchens in, all the flooring done, all the lights are in, all the toilets are in, the showers are done, the tiles in, like it's ready to go. It kind of just needs to get plugged in, right? So it's almost like a piece of equipment or an appliance, but it makes up 100% of the structure, and it's 80% of the project is all as these little cubes, right? That get put together. So they're all custom designed. So there's not, this is our box. It's like, no, every job is different. Every client is different. We customize all those modules to the client and the client's needs, right? Which makes sense, right?
So when you see a project like that, and you know the difference you're making, and it's your business, how does that make you feel? Like, it's got to be...
Very proud. So I get emotional talking about it sometimes.
And that's okay. Because it's...
Yeah, it's a good thing. And so it gives me some drive too, right? We're not just greedy developers. We're actually, doing something good at building homes, right? It's for the right people, right? So we do a lot of, and not just housing either, there's schools, institutional, industrial. So we built a private firm in 6 Nations of the Grand River. They contacted us and said, we want to put a big addition onto our school. We're bursting at the seams. We need an addition, but we don't want to disrupt the school year. Can you get it done over the summer break? And I'm going like, geez, it's a 3-story, 17,000 square foot school. But I said, okay, but can you give me one more month, right? So we started on June 1st, where we went in and did the foundations and the dirt work, and we had them in the first week of September. So just over 90 calendar days, we built them a 3-story, 17,000 square foot, state-of-the-art, very energy efficiency. So they were very keen on energy efficiency, limited fossil fuel burning, right? So all electric heat and cool. With that, we have really, really high R values and energy efficient envelopes, the best HVAC equipment you can buy. In 2022, we won the Ontario Concrete Association Award for Innovation for low carbon concrete mix design with Heidelberg Materials. So Heidelberg is the concrete company. We teamed up because we were doing lightweight, low carbon concrete using prefabricated construction methods, right? So I think that was one of the big things. So that school there, we poured 100% low carbon concrete for the entire school. There wasn't anything that we poured there that wasn't 50% less carbon, and that was just kind of to help the pitch that we're doing our part, right? Especially with the Indigenous community, they're about the environment, so we did everything we could, right? Like I said, there has been quite a few black eyes in the modular industry, not just around here, but all over the world. You see, companies in UK going out of business, companies everywhere going out of business, but there are a lot of success stories too, right? So us being one of them. It is doable, it is possible, it is successful. So for those of you who read all the bad stuff, look at some of the good too, right? I know there's some companies out west, some companies out east, other companies in Ontario, including ourselves, who have successful modular projects, really making a difference. So I think it just needs to be assistance from the governments to help with the financing. The banks and the governments need to work together to help these companies finance it. The issues that most of these modular companies have that don't succeed is cash flow problems, right? And steady workflow. So again, we're in a housing crisis. We need homes. There's no excuse for a modular company to not have work on their floor. Plain and simple. I had our local MP in here when we were delivering that Helen Keller job, and he was sitting right here in this office, and there was modules flying by us in the parking lot. And I said to Larry Brock, I said, Larry, this should happen every single day. There's no reason why we're not doing this 360 days a year. And he said, I absolutely agree with you. And this is back to financing. We need to get those projects greenlit. We need to get those permits issued, right? So yeah, it is a successful industry when done properly with the right help. You just need to do it carefully because it's not as easy as it looks.